Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tech Apac. Today, we're gonna talk with our inviters here. So the subject that we cover will be, just give me 1 second, I have too many things here opening. Revenue plus direct sales and distributions, new weapons and trends for hotel revenue plus distribution optimization. Before I start presenting all invited persons here, Travel Tech has been created to be a point of knowledge for hospitality and travel all over the world. We started on Brazil in July. We're doing the second one following with APAC, and 19 October, we're going to have the Latin for Spanish speakers, and the 23 of November, we're going to have the Travel Tech Europe, Middle East, and North of Africa. So all of you are invited. What we want to do with Travel Tech, basically, it's to be a reference globally where we can have all tech companies and all the hotels chains join us to connect and talk about what is happening, solutions, new tools that is available on the market. And the most important thing, we want to try to bring likeness to the dynamics that we have in a lot of hotels and how you can manage better using technology for that. So welcome everybody. We are starting the first funnel for Travel Tech APAC. I will start presenting everybody here. We have Costas Doukas, CEO of Book Online Now. We have Siddhartha Cuenca, CEO and founder of IOCell. We have Fulvio Gianetti, founder and CEO of LibraTech. We have Miss Duan, VP Sales Commercial and Marketing for Maritime Hotels. So I just will check my schedule here to tell you. So Costas, you have 3 minutes to start presenting yourself and your company.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vinny. First of all, I want to thank you so much for inviting me to participate in this event, in this great event, and with such important speakers in this panel. So thank you so much for that. So my name is Costas. I'm the CEO of Book Online Now, and we're a travel technology company specializing in booking engine solutions for hotels, and also tools to maximize revenue and direct bookings. We're in the market from 2010, it's almost 10 years now. The last year is the worst one for everybody, it's just for us. And now we have more than 3,500 hotels globally in more than 50 countries. So thank you so much for this event.
Thank you, Costas. Very fast presentation. Awesome. Welcome. Welcome. No, it's okay. This is a part we can laugh here. It needs to be interactive, so don't worry. So let's go for the second person. It's Miss Yulian Duan, VP Sales and Marketing for APAC at Maritime Hotels. So Miss Duan, it's your time to present yourself and your company. Please,
all right,
you can speak.
All right, thank you for Travel Tech making this happening, and thank you Vinicius for your organizations for this event. My name is Hui Lian. I'm the VP Sales and Marketing for Maritime Hotels Asia Pacific. Maritime Hotels has been playing a decisive role in the development of Germany's hotel industry since the founding in 1969, and the country's best-known hotel chain now enjoy an international reputation. We have 31 hotels currently in operations in Germany, and nearly 20 hotels in Spain, Malta, China, Turkey, Egypt, Mauritius, Albania, Bulgaria. In addition, we have several hotels in the pipeline in Poland, Netherlands, Germany, and China. Our portfolio includes city hotels, airport hotels, beach hotels, lakeside family hotels, golf hotels, and parkland spa hotels. Well, every property is uniquely individual with its own advantages. They are united under Maritime's model. That's how Maritime different from other hotel brands. We are the meetings and accommodations under one roof. When it comes to the event facilities, no other private company in Germany can match Maritime's collection of the congress centers and the meeting rooms, which means our hotels have been encountering sincere damages from COVID. It's been a very, very difficult year for our travel brand this year. Our team is working diligently to switch our market segmentation priority, increase revenue, and at the same time, save as much cost as we could. On the recent trust report this past week, Maritime Hotels is leading the race to recovery, which is good news for all of us. Thank you.
Welcome. That's the good news that you're telling us. The recovery thing, I think, started all over the world. In some places go slow, and in other are faster. What we saw is leisure is recovering very, very fast, at least here in America. And Europe, I assume, yes, and I see all over the world is going to be the same. Leisure come first. So I will pass for the second. Thank you very much again, Ms. Luan, to be part of this. Welcome. So let's go to the third person here in my list, Mr. Fulvio Giannetti, CEO at LibraTech. So you have 3 minutes to present yourself, Fulvio, your history, and talk about Libra. You're welcome.
Thank you to everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Fulvio Giannetti. I'm the CEO of LibraTech. LibraTech is a revenue management company. We established this company, I think, 3 years ago. After 3 years, we are more than 30 countries and we are more than 700 customers. And on my side, I'm a data scientist. I teach at the university, specifically how to implement big data projects on different fields, including tourism. So I'll be and now I'm happy to be here to follow on with this discussion. Thank you.
Welcome, Fulvio. Thank you to be here also. So now we're gonna have Mr. Siddhartha Goenka, CEO at IOCell Technologies. Mr. Siddhartha, please, it's your turn. You just present yourself and your entire company.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here. I actually am my name is Siddhartha Goenka, and I'm the CEO of IOCell Technologies. I actually wear 2 hats. I'm also a hotel owner based in Bangalore, India. I run a chain of hotels called Octave Hotels, which I kind of joined about 8 years ago. And while running my hotels, I realized that the technology that's talent in the hotel industry still has certain gaps. And while I was trying to grow my hotel chain from 1 hotel to 8 hotels in the last 5 years, we also chanced upon this opportunity to build a technology product which does automated revenue management and dynamic pricing for hotels, which can help in maximizing revenues. And it also integrates all aspects of hotel technology together to give maximum results with kind of minimum efforts. So it's a 3-year-old project. We are currently, IOCell is running in about 200 plus hotels in 15 plus countries. One of the biggest benefits of IOCell is that we are our own customers. So my own hotels are the consumers of our technology, which is why, as in tech parlance, they say that we eat our own dog food. So that's where we are, and we are happy to share our experiences with everybody. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You're welcome also. Thank you very much to accept to be here. So we're going to make Travel Tech be bigger, and we're going to share a lot of knowledge with the public that is listening to us right now. We have more than 100 people already here with us, so that's a good thing. And we got more than 250 registrations for your panel. To the moment, you have the biggest registration still now. So welcome, guys. So for the public that is listening to us, right now, we're going to start the first round of questions. So the format of the forum, we're going to have 2 rounds of questions, when each of the partners will answer. After that, all the other participants in the panel are going to have 2 minutes if they want to provide any opinion or another point of view, as this is the point of discussion to grow and everybody grow here. That's the main point of Travel Tech. So let's start with the first questions. Just 1 second. Well, we're going to start the first round of questions. The first questions goes to Kostas Doukas, CEO of Book.now. So, Mr. Kostas, which marketing tips the hotel should follow that could potentially lead to a great increase of hotel direct sales in 2021? I'm going to repeat the question. We're looking forward for the next year. So, which marketing tips the hotel should follow that could potentially lead to a great increase of hotel direct sales in 2021. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Vinny. Okay, first of all, let's see what is the fact here. I mean, the fact is that we have two periods, the pre-COVID period and the post-COVID period, okay? So, I mean, things has been changed during this period. So, I mean, 1 year ago, the guests were looking for experiences, for accommodation, for good accommodation, for services, for facilities, for many, many things. So now the guests are looking for two more things. They are looking for to be safe and healthy. Okay, so this is very important. Otherwise, I mean, we can say that in all our lives, if we want to travel somewhere, this is the first thing that we're thinking about. So, I mean, also from some research, we see that, if I remember well, 81% of the guests feel more comfortable to stay somewhere in a hotel if they keep high health standards. Okay, so this is very, very important. So we have to see what is the marketing tips, the marketing actions that the hotel has to be made for COVID and all the other things. So one thing, I mean, once the hotel keeps the health standards and follow all the protocols regarding COVID, they have to publish that and to share this information also inside the hotel, so somebody can see this in notes, in papers, in the lobby, in the restaurants, but most important also in the internet. So they have to use that and have this information on the website, so to make clear that they follow all the health protocols, all the COVID protocols, also in the booking engine, also in the OTAs. We see that many hotels do that now. And this is very important because from these things, guests can feel that they can go there and feel more easy to more comfortable, that it will be safe for them. Okay, so I mean everything that they do, even if they use a check-in, if they follow social distancing, everything should be published in the website, OTAs, and also on social media, in Facebook, in Instagram, everywhere. This one thing. So this is the COVID thing. Okay. Besides COVID, let's talk what's the reality for the next year. I mean, let's go to the new trends. For me, let's start with the website, which is very critical. So, I mean, for me, the website is very important. As a website, the design to be very clear, to be responsive. But nowadays, I think website is not just a website. It's more than that. It's a communication tool. It's interaction tool. It's personalized messages. It's connection with the booking engine. It's connection with social media. We see price widgets with connection with actually small meta sets, okay, because you see prices there from different OTAs. So I see now the website in the future, in the very near future, nowadays, to be not a website, but a platform with many information of interaction between the guest and the hotel, okay. Besides that, I think the most important thing for the hotel is to convert guests, convert to bookers. So I mean, there are two possible ways to do that: either to convert, or at least to take some information from the guest in order to go back and make an offer after that. So it's very important for the hotel to use a good booking engine, but also to apply all kind of features that this booking engine can have. Okay. Let's say, I mean, if you see now, let's say 1 year earlier, most of the reservations were coming from non-refundable rate plans. Now we see that the trend is free cancellation, it's flexibility. So, I mean, the hotel has to apply this kind of rate plans, this kind of, let's say, pricing strategy, not only to OTS, but also to the booking engine. And I think that one more thing is the domestic travelers. So we see that I mean, in many hotels, in many countries, now live from the domestic travelers, not from the international travelers. So this is a part, another very important part, is the loyalty. So the hotels have to apply the loyalty in the booking engine. They have to categorize their guests, let's say, to social guests, to VIP guests, based on the revenue that they made, if they are repeaters, to domestic travelers. They have different pricing strategies for each one of them, or different rate plans, or different special offers, or different add-ons. So this is another thing. I mean, we can have upselling tools. I mean, we can sell rooms, because it's a very different period for everybody. So I think that also add-on services and extra services and upselling some things is very important for the hotel to survive in this period and to make a good revenue the next year. What else? I think also in the metasets, we see now, I mean, many hotels, especially, I mean, I'm a fan of good hotel ads, so I see that many hotels use good hotel ads, but if they don't use it, or the metasets, what happens? I mean, the metasets are partners of OTAs, okay? If the hotel goes there and use their prices in the metasets, then the metasets becomes also a partner of the hotel, because they can see prices there directly from the hotel website. So this is much better for the hotel because they take not only reservations with a little bit less a commission, but the guests are let's say, members of the hotel, are customers of the hotel, not from the OTAs. One more thing I think is very important is I see that also as a new trend. It's the gift vouchers or the open bookings. So, I mean, if we have flexibility, we can see that now hotels cannot provide easily non-refundable rate plans. So maybe they can do that through open bookings, like we have, for example, in the air tickets. So you can buy an air ticket and use it whenever you want. You can do the same in the booking engine on the hotel website, okay? So you can book a room and go whenever you want. But this book a room is non-refundable. So the hotel can take money, can take revenue in advance. Okay, this is very important, I think.
Okay.
That's all.
No. You can proceed. If you have more things, just
One more.
please.
I mean, also another very important is to apply special offers. Just 1 more minute. So maybe the hotel can apply some, let's say, special offers like a long stay or whatever, and connect these special offers with the website, because it's very important for the guests when they first go to the website to see what's running, what is, let's say, if there's a best price guarantee, there's one rate plan that has a very good SEO offer for the next period. So that's all. That's all. I think.
Okay, awesome. I have a point. I agree with everything you told. I just would like to attach 2 things very fast. One of them is that, as you said, the website is a communication. So right now we did an insight with 10,000 customers that buy hotels and traveling in America, from the north to the south, with 10,000. What we got on those 10,000 responses, 74% of the people want to do the reservation directly on the website of the client. Why? Because they want to know if they're following all the health structures as we told. So if you have a website and you're listening to us, the first thing you need to do right now, if you not did it yet, set up a slide or some kind of one page explaining what you're doing to protect your customers. That's point 1. Second one, you need to grant always the best price in your direct sales. So you need to communicate that very easily. You don't write much on a website for that, for example. So if you're gonna offer your best rate plan directly, make that be visual and very straight and very fast for the client. Somebody else would like to give an opinion or share something more concerning what Costa said. You have time. Ms. Duan?
Yeah, I'm here.
Would you like you have some opinions, some other things that you want to add on the Costas, what Costa said, Mr. Siddhartha, Fulvio? If nobody has nothing to say, I move to the second question.
Well, very, very quick question. I totally agree what Costas just mentioned, but as the hotel salesperson, have been very struggling with the BRG, we call the best rate guaranteed, that we distribute to those B2B distributors. As from your perspective, like what do we do? Like we can't, other than manually check with BRGs, we don't usually use any other tools to control those BRG issues happening. Like any suggestions from your side, please? Thanks.
Sorry, I mean, you're saying that you have some, let's say, partners B2B that they cannot have higher prices than your official price.
Right, that's the undercut.
We face these problems, I mean, with many hotels. I mean, okay, one solution should be to create rate plans special offers that are excluded from the market that this B2B works. For example, this one solution, okay? Otherwise, we have to follow for this country the rate parity, I mean, with this partner. But this is what most would do with other hotels. They just create, let's say, a better price, a best price, and they exclude this price from this country that the agent works.
All right.
Okay.
If I can just add to what Costa
Sure.
said, what we observe in our hotels is that if you have these separate rate plans and different packages, what Costa said, which is not included in the otherwise OTA channels, customer today is very smart, and customer finds a way to find that cheapest price and that additional package that is there specifically for your direct channel, whether it's your website or your agent. And so we have to, without doing a lot of sort of direct promotion, the customer today is discerning and smart enough to find the best package and the best price, as long as you have it with the right booking channels and the right direct marketing strategy, what Costa said.
Awesome. Fulvio, do you want to add something or move? No? Okay, I move to the second question then. Second question is to Miss Duan. Miss Duan, so the question to you is, the hospitality and travel industry are incredible resilient. What role does technology play for your company as you look forward to recovery? I'm going to repeat the question. The hospitality and the travel industry are incredible resilient. What role does technology play for your company as you look toward recovery? Please, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Vinicius. At Maritime, technology plays one of the most important roles in our operations. It's the foundation of our availability rate inventory as distributions. We have been focusing on the following to improve our technology capabilities. Number one, flexibility and adaptability. The world will be more dynamic, especially after the COVID-19. So stay flexibility and adaptability are very important to us. Number two, stability. Stability. When we emphasize the flexibility, so stability for our brand is the key. Number three, the security. Just like what Costas mentioned earlier at his when he answered his question, and the security, there can never be too much focus on security in today's unpredictable world. The number four for us is cost effectiveness is also important for our brand as we look forward recovery. The last one is transparency. Both clients and internal sales, marketing, operations, and finance, all of our team members needed to be transparent to handle all of the disruptions. We feel this year we have been communicating with our hotels and clients and our team members with more frequency, and we keep each other closely updated and assist them wherever they need. That's my answer. Thank you, Vinicius.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Duan. Somebody want to give your opinion on the top of Miss Duan's answer? I proceed? You tell me, guys. No? Okay. I move forward. Thank you, Ms. Duan. Thank you very much.
My
Let's
pleasure.
go to the third question that we have here for Mr. Fulvio Giannetti, CEO at LibraTech. So, Fulvio, this is a good question. How does machines learning and artificial intelligence work in the ERMS, and how does it benefit the hotel? So, I'm going to repeat the question. How does machine learning and artificial intelligence work in the ERMS, and how does this benefit the hotel? You have 5 minutes, please. We cannot listen to you. I think your microphone. No, yes.
This is very nice question. I think that in this field we are at the beginning of a very wonderful story, and of course from a data science perspective, and I'm a data scientist. and I feel like excited to live in this period, excluding of course, the COVID. And I want to explain you why, from two different point of view. In one side, I teach at the university, and for what I see, the artificial intelligence application and machine learning application is referring to the revenue management is still weak in terms of scientific literature if compared to other fields, probably because of the fragmentation of the market. And we have also so we missed a lot of data, so we had not so much data available to do different kind of researches. All the researches that I see are based on how to use historical data to make some prediction in the future. So we are moving from an old paradigm to a new paradigm. It's a paradigm shift, whatever it's called. And from another point of view, like a CEO of a company, a data scientist of company, of course, even in this case, I'm very happy to live in this quite impressive period. Because we now, as you know, Libra has been acquired by another company, which is Zucchetti. Zucchetti provides data to more than, provides softwares to more than 20,000 hotels worldwide. So we are now in a very unique position to analyze in a way has never happened before all the data coming from different PMSs, channel manager, booking engines, and this is we are like a big lab in terms of revenue management worldwide now, and mostly it's our soul. I mean, our name Libra can reveal our soul. If you look our brand, our logo is a scale, and of course the name Libra, which is a Latin word, means scale. And why scale? Why scale? Scale because we wanted, since the beginning, we wanted to analyze, to improve, to find a new way of, in terms of interaction, a balance between the human experience and the machine. Because if in one hand we had the human experience, I think if something cannot be replaced, at least in the short term, but can be reinforced thanks to the use of the machines that can do a lot of calculations in few seconds. I mean, and for a human, it's impossible to do this. What we are doing in this case is build a new approach, a new engine that we are also patenting. This engine is an adaptive revenue system engine. And what we are trying to find, like the perfect alchemy between the revenue manager and our system. Now I want to explain a little bit better because I want to be more practical. So, for example, in terms of pricing, for example, what we do, we analyze some patterns. So we suggest a price. If this price is accepted from the revenue manager, is okay. There is no problem. We follow up with our strategy. But if the revenue manager do not accept this suggestion, because it can be, we store all the data around these decisions. I mean, we store pricing, we store bookings, we store reputations, we store everything is possible, and we store in a place. Then the second time, if the revenue manager can accept or not, it does not accept, still we store. The third time, if it does not accept, we store 6, 7, 8 times. At the end, if we find a pattern on all those choices, it means that there is a logic behind the decision of the revenue manager. And the next time we follow up with his decision. So we take into consideration to our algorithm this point of view, his point of view. In the other side, if we don't find any path, any logic, we, it can be rational. No? There is, as I said last time, in another interview, most of our actions are based on emotions. Still, if we think we are logic, most of the time we are emotions, because we cannot control logically all the variable. And even in this case, so if we see that there is a rational part, we don't take into consideration this part. So that's why it's adaptive, and now we are follow up with these developments in these terms. Of course, there are many other applications we can analyze in terms of artificial intelligence, but it requires a lot of time. So it's better. I will stop here. And,
no, it's okay. It's okay. In the first beginning, so we can say that even if we use an RMS system, the human factor is really necessary. We agree with that. It's a question to you.
for me,
yeah.
yes, sure. Because as I said before, it's not possible for now, at least in the short term, to replace the human experience. It's too huge, too complex. I mean, revenue management is a very complex subject. It's not so easy. When a revenue manager takes a decision, there are many variables he start to analyze. One of the most important is experience. And for now, is something we should take into consideration. We have to take into consideration because it's one of the best variables to analyze.
I just will make a point to make that easier. For example, I will put a practical example for the people that are listening to us. The revenue management systems right now for hotels, I'm sure is necessary, imperative necessary. However, what we can see, why the human being is so important right now. Let's do it very simple. If we have a hotel and we said, okay, I have a price for 30% of occupation, between 31% to 70%, I have another pricing, or I'm going to the top 10% plus, and then I have, I don't know, after 75%, I have my higher price. Maybe your competitors will turn down the price. I don't know, they turn down their price, but for you, maybe the RMS can come back and say, look, the best price right now is this one. No, but you see, but it's lower. I don't want to sell this price right now. So this is a very practical and very easy way to try to explain why an RMS is really necessary and why the human being is also really important in the process. That's all. I'm sorry. I just want to simplify. I hope I make myself understand. Siddhartha?
Yeah, can I add something to that? Yes, while I totally agree with the idea that the human involvement is very necessary because there is an intangible intelligence that a human brings to revenue management. What we do in our company is to try and minimize the extent of human involvement as much as possible, and to try and sort of convert that human intelligence and experience into sort of definable parameters which could try to automate the revenue management experience as much as possible. So our entire offering is to try and automate as much as possible. So we recommend to our customers that the automation should take about 80% and the human involvement should be reduced to 20%. Because what has happened in today's world is the context is changing so rapidly and so quickly that sometimes machines have to be ahead of humans. Because what happens, as you see with more and more hotels, the booking window is crunching to the last 24 hours, 48 hours. So much happens in those last 24 to 48 hours that it sometimes becomes much harder for humans to keep up with these real-time changing patterns. And hence the increased involvement of automation is necessary while keeping the human element in place. That's the only the additional point that I would like to do.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Siddhartha. Ms. Don, you want to say something about it, or I move to the next question? No? Okay. Costas? So let's go to the next question. It's going to be for Siddhartha. Okay. Siddhartha, the question for Siddhartha Goenka, CEO at IOCell Technologies. What are the different automation possibilities in hotels and the new modern technology era? So I will repeat the question. what are the different automation possibilities in hotels and the new modern technology era? You have 5 minutes.
Sure. So I'll try to answer this question because I wear two hats, one as a hotel owner as well as a technology provider. So the hotels in today's world have to be thought of as sort of these mega factories. These mega factories where we have machines, we have workers, and we are trying to produce output. Right? And just like how in the manufacturing industry we had a Toyota movement of just-in-time manufacturing and lean manufacturing, especially after the COVID crisis, it is time for hotel industry to embrace our Toyota movement, which means that we need to start automating more and more and start delivering more with less. So we need to maximize our output. We need to minimize our input as much as possible. And that's where automation plays a big role. So a lot of what that means is we need to try and convert as much of fixed costs into variable costs, because hotels in general have a lot of fixed costs and that take up a huge part of our operational expenses. And when we have a crisis like COVID, we are unable to match up, and that's the process. Now, how do you define this so-called automation? So the way I look at it is that the automation can be divided into two different segments. One is what happens within the hotel and what happens outside the hotel. So within the hotel is more around the operation side. So in the operations side, everything from when the customer checks in, from a guest, when a guest checks in, right from the automation of the front office, from the reception to check-in and check-out process automation, to contactless check-ins using kiosks, along with as the guest has his experience, as much of it in terms of guest services. So whether it involves concierge services, whether it involves in-room dining, whether it involves ancillary services, along with controlling of devices, to the time that he checks out, which is even post-checkout, his post feedback, the reviews and reputation. All of this can now be automated with sort of integrated systems in place, which can really help hotels maximize revenues and efficiency with minimum outputs. So this is more on the inputs, what happens inside the hotel. What happens outside the hotel is more on the sales and marketing side, kind of the areas that we've been talking, right from the decision of the prices, at what price the hotel should sell, the flow of these inventory and prices from our hotel PMS system onto our revenue management system, onto our channel management system, onto our OTAs, to our booking engines, meta searches. All of that stuff can now be automated with minimal sort of human interaction. And that's really what we should aspire to do. I think hotel industry is still on the cusp of this, where we are trying to get there more and more. But the goal is to try and sort of think of this as a unified, lean, automated experience, both for the hotel as well as for the customer, that kind of can give the hotel more revenues and more profits with less inputs and less expenses.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Somebody has something to say? Please go ahead. Nobody? It's okay. So, okay, let's move to the second round of the questions. Thank you, Mr. Siddhartha, for the input. Awesome. Great information. Let's go to the second round. We're going to start the second round of questions. I just checked that we have a few questions. I invite all the public that is listening to us right now, please go to the question sites on the platform and please write your questions. At the end, I will stop and ask your questions to everybody here. And I have a petition from one of the persons that are listening to us. They request to us to speak a little bit slower as they're not following. It's too much information to follow. So they request us to speak a little bit slower. I will try also. I'm the faster one for speak, so I'm sorry. Monish, are you there? Okay, I was welcome, Monish. I cannot listen to you. we cannot. Munish from Max is the
How are
global
you doing?
director
I'm so
of
sorry.
sales.
My apologies. There was some technical error thanks to my internet and everything. But thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you, Dr. Julian, Costas, Siddharth, Fulvio, Vinicius, Vinny. Thank you very much. I'm there. So let's continue. And we'll
Okay.
start the second round. Yep.
Okay, you want to start the second round of questions? I give all to you. You can do it by yourself. You have
Yeah.
the questions on the screen,
Yes.
so please be my guest. You can start. I did the first round myself, so right now we have Munish, Global Director of Sales of Max, Ray Tiger, working with us, be a moderator. So the second round of questions is gonna be with him. Munish, it's all yours.
Thank you, Vinny.
Welcome.
So my first question will be for the lady here. New normal term has been communicated often in the past. A few months back, like this term was really going on, and still it's going on. So what does this new normal looks like to your company, Dr. Julian? To you.
Okay, thank you, Manish. We're in Asia selling all of our hotels, but because travel ban, this is travel restriction, we are unable to provide outbound services for our overseas hotel outside of China, outside of Asia. Therefore, we stay focused on supporting our properties in the region and be more engaged in the local and the regional clients' activities. And at the same time, we have been approaching mid to small-sized Asian companies in Germany and other countries where we have a maritime hotel. So it works very well because we have a sales force outside. We have quite a few sales force outside for Germany, and we majority of the hotels within Germany. So that's how we have been done and have been doing right now. It helps. Another new normal is that leisure travel has been playing a major role of the travel business, especially during the COVID-19 recovery. Therefore, innovative promotions and packages are important for this market segment. And today, I was just learned from City Hall during the first question, the answer questions, the discussions that he just mentioned, how we actively and accurately to place our rate and inventory through different distribution channels by combining the hotel rooms together with some other travel components, and that's gonna to help too, and that's what we will do in the next step. The last I wanted to see is the cost reduction. The hospitality industry will be very cost conscientious right now and after. What do we do to deal with this new normal? The cost reduction is going to be one of the key things for the recovery. Thanks, Manish.
Thank you, Dr. Julian. So I'd like to take the opportunity to ask Costas, Siddharth, and Fulvio, like, what's your opinion on this? If anyone.
Well, I mean, the only thing that I can add is that the three pillars around which I think the new hotel the new normal would probably be around efficiency, automation, and technology, which will all eventually combine together to give more revenue and less costs, kind of what Julian is mentioning. So obviously it's an easier concept and very hard to execute. And this concept has many different sub-points that all need to work together. And I think we are all putting our heads together to try and get there as much as we can.
Dr. Juan, I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
As you have global hotels based in Asia, Europe, most all over the world, how is this opening for maritime hotels? The leisure, it's working better. The corporate, how in Asia and Europe, how's the difference? It's the same thing in Asia and Europe, or you have a different insight for the customers? how they're coming back. We know most of us knows that everybody go through road, driving a car, most of the clients right now, because they don't take airplanes. So how is your response for that? How you see the market is reacting on your hotels for corporate and leisure?
Well, it's a very good question, Vinicius. I would say it's no matter in Europe, in Africa, or in Asia Pacific, nowhere the property is located. It's more into the location of the hotel. Say for the city hotel, and we in China, we still get a very strong market demand from corporate section, but in the hotels in Mauritius and some other resort destinations, we don't see very strong incentive tours. The meetings, incentive meetings, all those requests from the corporate side as we did in the past. In majority of our hotels, we have seen leisure travel market segment has been increasing. That's supposed to be the corporate on the top, but now leisure travel does feel the strong role, the market share in at our hotels. Even in the past, we have been very struggling for some of the hotels during the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, we don't know where we can go to fill out all of our rooms. But now it seems everything's getting better. But for some our hotels in the city near the trade show centers, the conference centers, and we don't see those big conferences coming into the city, then we start to feel the pressure for Monday to Thursday business. So it really depends.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. We have here in South America, things is different. We have still two countries totally closed. We have Colombia opening, Brazil, everything's opening, but we see only 25% for the corporate market. The leisure, for example, depends on the destination, but we have destinations that from October till December, they already sold 80% of all the hotels, for example. It's like COVID doesn't exist here. I don't know. It's a special country. Okay, guys. Monish, all yours. Sorry. I just want you to understand better. As we have people from all over the world on Travel Tech, it's good to share experiences and questions. Maybe we'll do questions that it is not on the it's not right as before. Thank you very much, Dr. Juan. Another time. Monish, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Vinny, and everyone for your wonderful feedback. So my next question will be for Fulvio. Why is it important for the RMS algorithm to include data from hotel competitor prices, reputation, flight demand, and destination demand?
Can you hear me? Why?
Okay, I'll repeat the question for you.
Destination.
Why is it important for the RMS algorithm to include data from hotel competitor prices, reputation, flight demand, and destination demand?
Yes, it's quite important because if we say, as we said before, we are very close to a paradigm. You disappeared. A paradigm shift in terms of, forecasting. Now, we come from a period where the only way to do a forecast was to use the historical data and make projection for the future. Now, we can use a lot of data, and for example, we as Libra, we store more, I think, billions of data points every day. And in terms of pricing, in terms of competitor pricing, in terms of events, in terms of reputation, flight searches, booking searches, and of course, we include part of the historical data inside ranking in terms of all the OTAs. So why we need all this data? We need all this data to have a perception of what is going to happen in the future, because the secret is there. Understanding the future without looking at the past, and because now the past is gone. 2020 is not the normal. As you said, we have to look at the new normal, and the new normal in terms of data science is looking a different way, the past and the future. And is what you have to do. So to summarize my answer, is important for the forecast. And as we know, forecast is 9% revenue management is based 9% of forecast. So if we understand how to deal with all this data in the better way, we have a very great results.
Thank you, Fulvio. So I'm sure Siddharth will have his own version onto this. So Siddharth, over to you.
I agree with everything that Fulvio is saying. It's just that in the new world, as I mentioned earlier, it's just becoming harder and harder to forecast accurately. I mean, if you sat in 2019, nobody could forecast COVID in 2020. And sitting here in 2020, all of us may have our opinions about what will happen in 2021. But truth be told, I don't think any one of us accurately knows what exactly will happen. So everything is such a changing dynamic, and which is why a lot of our actions, a lot of our technology, a lot of our focus has to revolve around these changing dynamics and changing focus and changing context, as I keep saying. So yeah, I think there's no silver bullet to this to this problem.
Thank you, Siddharth. Anything from Costas?
Yes, I mean, I have a question for Fulvio. So actually, let's say, I mean, the revenue management is more, let's say, machine learning tool. Okay. I mean, my question is how the revenue manager should be involved in the revenue management tool. I mean, what I'm saying, you have to follow different algorithms for city hotels, for resort hotels, for with the hotels. Okay. So I mean, only the tool with the data that you take and plus the what you have, all the parameters are enough for. I mean, also the review manager has to take some actions or to change somehow the way that the system works.
Yes, I mean, I want to answer to your question very precisely. One, in terms of data, of course, the question was about all the data, a list of data sources. But of course, according to the different situations, the weight of each variable is going to change. Because for a very easy example, flights data are very important for the big cities. But where you are in a city far, like 300 kilometers far from the airport, of course, is the weight of this variable is less because it has less impact. And all the variables are working this way. So what we have to do and what we do is create cluster of hotel and developing and use and weight different data according to the different hotels. And in the other side is if we talk about big hotels, big chains, the role of a revenue manager is much more dedicated. So if compared to small hotels, of course they want to have the control of all the prices because the distribution is more complex, and we are not selling final products, we are selling a service. And pricing a service is it's not so easy. So it's not just the variable that you are analyzing in terms of algorithm or machines. The role of the revenue manager is too much important in this case. Of course, it's different when you have a small hotel, 10, 15 rooms, and you have just one channel. The only thing that you have to do is just to optimize the pricing. In the case, is quite, I mean, automation is the most important things for them, because in the case there is just one revenue manager, in the same time is the owner, in the same time is the marketing manager, and probably even the host sometimes. So it's a different situation. I think is the most beautiful things in the hospitality industry, which is a problem from a data scientist, to be honest, is the heterogeneity of the hotels. The needs, the different needs of the hotels, the different kind of hotels, the different experience that an hotel needs, the different understanding and that the hotel has in terms of revenue management. And so that's why it's very important creating these clusters and analyze this, offering the right tools to the right needs.
Awesome. Thank you, Fulvio.
Thank
I
you.
love how
Thank
you
you.
like to answer. He's very romantic. You're
Sorry?
very romantic the way you speak. We have comments from the chat from the people saying Fulvio is answering very romantical. The public is saying that. We just let you know. Monish, please follow.
Thank you. I will refer to my wife.
Go ahead. We cannot listen to you. Maybe you're in mute.
Okay, so my next question will be for Siddharth. How and why are integrations of systems important for hotels to be successful?
So yeah, so I think I'll go back to the earlier point that I was making, in that if you look at hotels in terms of maximizing output with minimum inputs, integration of systems is paramount. And so far, unfortunately, we've been in a situation where most hotel systems work in isolation. So for every hotel owner, you are bombarded with some 20 systems and 20 different technology products who each does one little aspect of it. The goal in the new era should be either to make those systems talk to each other, to integrate them with each other, or have some kind of a integrated sense of how a hotel owner can work with everything together in one go. So in our consulting parlance, they used to say something like one throat to choke, right? So you should have one point of contact for kind of all integration of systems. And I will try to go a little bit deeper into what these integration of systems mean. Again, on the system side, there is both operations of a hotel, and the second is the marketing of the hotel. As far as the operations of the hotel, the property management system is always the nervous system of the entire hotel. Right now, it forms the core basis where everything kind of folds into for a hotel. Now, the more the property management system can interact with different aspects of the hotel, while including things like in-room services, things like concierge and all of that, and even IoT devices, things like turning on lights and turning on the air conditioning and stuff like that. It actually brings a whole integrated sort of experience to for a guest as far as the hotel is concerned. The other part of it is now, how does this hotel system, which is inside the hotel, help a hotel sell more? And that's on the marketing side. And when we think of the marketing side, still, unfortunately, we are in a situation where most property management systems in many parts of in many hotels around the world do not talk to their distribution partners, which is either a channel manager or a revenue manager. In the ideal world, the property management system should automatically give live updates of inventory to a revenue management system, which should then take that and figure out amongst all parameters, calculate the best prices, do that intelligence, push those rates to all the channels, including the OTAs, including the direct channels, the GDS, including the corporates and the travel agents also. So we will come to a point where all aspects, even if we have something like corporate sales or travel agent sales, which technically have been kept as in a very offline component, would somehow also come to be part of this whole integrated environment. So that when bookings come from any of these channels, they should now not be manually entered into a property management system. They technically should be a very less relevance of a reservation team, because everything can just seamlessly talk to everything else. So we can have a two-side thing where the marketing happens, the inventory rates, intelligence goes from one end to the other, and the bookings and the details of the guests come from the channels all the way to the property management system. The reviews and reputations come together. The chat bots around the website, things on the lines of what Costa said, the booking engine, all of that can work together with each other. And that's the holy grail of the world that we are kind of chasing in the hotel industry, which is around integration systems.
Thank you, Siddharth. I'm sure Fulvio and Costas, and especially Dr. Julian, will have her own opinion here from the hotel point of view. What she thinks.
I totally agree. And have you heard any companies have this integration, doing this integration services, Siddharth?
Well, we are on the journey. We are trying to, I mean, I'm a hotel owner myself, so in my hotels, I try to integrate everything to one. But again, mine are smaller hotels. When we come to hotels of your segment, then the integration becomes much a bigger challenge. But I think we are on that. I think we are on that journey, and good companies. And my sincere request to most hotel technology companies is that we should be open to integrations. There is a traditional mindset to hotel technology companies where integrations are thought of as sort of protective. So we need to get out of the protective environment and be more interoperation, right? I think the more and more we do that, we can all work with each other.
Well, for sure. And I believe if there's this company this kind of service available, a lot of investors, the hoteliers will be very, very happy. And for us, our majority of our hotels are large size hotels, and see the operators, the staff operating all kinds of systems in order to make the hotel running, right? I always imagine there's a integration system or services there to integrate the PMS, all the marketing tools, the restaurant, the food and beverage, the meeting and conventions, everything's together. Even the services can cross the border to provide, like in China, you can integrate the WeChat and all those booking tools, Fleet, all those booking tools available directly to a PMS. That will be ideal. If there's this kind of a service available, please keep me posted, Siddharth.
Thank you,
For all
Dr. William.
technologies, I'm so sorry, I will interrupt a little bit. Concerning integrations, I'm an expert in integrations all over. I have more than 15 years working on this market. Maybe in the beginning, we have some kind of resistance to have integrations. We still have a few companies that want to have like a lobby or don't want to open. Even in Europe, in America, we have those, but they're not the most ones. And what happens right now and for the future, for those companies that don't want or do not provide connectivity, even if they're very very big company, what will happen? They will lose market. Because what the hotelier, what we feel, what in the field all over the world, hotels want to have connectivity. And sometimes have PMS is the most headache sometimes for connectivity. We understand that. But another thing that I saw from hoteliers is like, I have a PMS, I want the two-way connectivity, awesome. But I want to put my prices through the PMS and then send for the channel manager, and the channel manager do the distribution. This is wrong. This is wrong. PMS is your PMS. It's for operation internally. For distribution, you have your channel manager. So they need to be integrated together, not the opposite. If we go to the PMS, you're going to have a lot of things, and maybe sometimes never work correctly. PMS for one thing. And another thing that we need to be specialists. All the software companies that will pass through here during these days, and the next one we're going to have 19 October, the Travel Tech, Latin Spanish speakers. We have a lot of companies already. And for Europe and Middle East and North of Africa also. Connectivity is the most important thing. And if you don't have it, you need to find. And if you have a channel manager that not connect with that PMS, but the biggest problem here is always the PMS, because hoteliers don't want to change the PMS because it's going to give them a very big headache. However, all the PMSs need to give you the historical shift about your company, and then the new PMS needs to upload that, and that is possible. Most of them said, no, that's not possible, but at the base camp, that is not true. So sometimes if you're trying to have everything connected and your PMSs do not give you the option, change the PMS. That is, it's very difficult, but do it. Or try to find a channel manager, a booking engine, and all connected. This is the most important thing. If not, we lose time, we lose money. And every time we need persons to do that, we lose money. Papers. We cannot use, I just use papers to note when you're talking to make questions. That's all. All the other stuff goes through the computer. So thank you. Sorry, I just want to put my opinion here.
I totally understand, Vinicio. It's absolutely correct. Got it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Back to you, Manish.
If I
Let's
can
put
add
you over to
something.
say something.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'll just share my small experience while me talking to various hotel owners when we talk about integrated system. So I believe there's a perception that a human can do better than a machine while entering a reservation. So many a time I face this challenge while convincing them to take the both-way connectivity with your PMS due to they are ready to invest on the manpower, but they're not ready to invest on the connected system. So I'm sure, like from this call, many we will preach this, and many people will think about it because the time we are getting in, where manpower will be also a costly one. So moving forward, I have another question for Costas now. Uh, which are the biggest challenges hotels are likely to face over the next few years, especially in terms of direct bookings?
Okay, thank you, Monish, for the question. First of all, just to interrupt for the previous things that you discussed, just give me 1 second, 1 minute for that. I think that the biggest problem for the tourism in general is that there are no some standard protocols for the APIs. Because I see that, I mean, in the telecommunications industry, there was some, I mean, if you want to connect with an access point, there's a specific API that you have to follow. Okay, so everybody follows that, and everybody can connect with everybody. In the tourism industry, there's not such protocol. So everybody makes his own API with okay, OTA based, of course, but again, it's not similar to all the companies. So that's why we face so many problems of interaction of integrations. Okay, that's one point. Okay, regarding your question, Moniz, I think, I mean, we have many challenges here. I think the biggest one is that now hotels, I think they have lower revenue and higher expenses. So I think that the room price, the room cost is higher than a few months ago because of the COVID, because of the coronavirus, because they have to consider all these protocols that they follow, and plus some nanotechnologies that can be used. I mean, I see many air cleaning devices, many nanotechnologies for cleaning the surfaces of, of the lobby of the restaurants. So all this is a big cost for the hotels. So, and we see that the occupancy is in a lower numbers than previous years. It's 20%, 30%. So, I mean, I don't know what hotels can do for that, but I'm sure that one solution is to use most of the tools that they have. So that means that if they have a channel manager and they connect to 5 channels, okay, maybe they have to add more channels there. They have to add channels from other markets, more, let's say, wholesalers and B2B. If they have a booking agent, they can use, I mean, I've seen from my experience that they use most about 30 to 40% of the features that we have of the booking engine. So, I mean, it's now the time to apply more changes there, to apply more, let's say, offers and strategies to have more revenue from direct bookings. This one thing. The other thing is the hotels has to follow the booking behavior, because we see now that the new things that, as we discussed before, is flexibility, is last minute bookings. So again, the hotel has to apply some pricing strategies and be more, let's say, close to this behavior. And of course, another thing is to take advantage of all booking sources from where the bookings are coming. Maybe it's a laptop, maybe it's mobile, from metasearch, from social media, from it's what we discussed also at the first beginning of this forum. Okay. Another thing, and the last one that I want to share about, to talk about, is we have some new trends. I mean, one trend that I saw that this year is the workation. Workation is, I mean, So it's the combination of work and vacation. This exists in the market for the last 2-3 years, but I saw that this summer very often, especially here in Greece. I saw people that were working and were going for holidays for 1 week. They went for 1 month in a lower budget, they say, hotel, but they combined working and vacation. They work in the morning for a few hours, and after that they were going to the beach and going outside. So these are new trends, and maybe, I don't know, maybe there are more that happens in the next years, and we have to say that we have to find these trends and follow them and act accordingly. Thank you.
I want to share something concerning what Costa said that is very important. When we talk about clients and when we talk about break plans, we need to be like a surgeon, okay? Like Dr. Duan. Why? Because we have break plans and we have those islands. Well, what are those islands? They are, for example, have a public that comes from Instagram and they buy a particular kind of room. Then from Facebook, I have a different one. From LinkedIn, I have another one. Then I have a different kind of public for the main market. Also, when you check break plans, you need to check your PMS. You need to see historical. You need to manage to understand your public. You need to understand who's the person that goes and use the most expensive room, who goes and use the middle room, who was the person that used the standard room. When you have those three, then you look, okay, the standard room, they consume what they consume in my hotel, the middle scale, what they do in my hotel, the upscale, what they do also. Like that, you can separate your public and offer a direct rate plan or a package built for that kind of customer. Most of the hotels, independent or chains, don't do that. And that is a big mistake. And what they do is give that, no, what do that for me? It's booking. It's Expedia, HRS, Asia Rooms. Okay, well, they do that for you. But you pay between 50 to 25% commission. So hoteliers need to start doing a better job inside of their hotels and trying to look for their customers and look in the past. Because if you look at the past, you can have a point of view for the future. Right now, for example, is a very, I don't know how to say, crazy moment in the world. Okay, it's a very crazy one. But being crazy is the moment that you need to check this. Because maybe I need to check where they coming from. Okay, I know that I have 500 kilometers that people can come with a car. So how many people from a radio of 500 kilometers I got in my hotel the last year? So that you start your marketing. It's very simple. We just need to stop, think, and do our jobs. It's very simple. We need tools, and we have a lot of tools that give us those insights. But you can check manually if you want. Okay, if you do manually, it's gonna be a lot of work, but you can do it also. Okay, that's all I want you to point at here. That's very, very important. Another thing for hotel direct sales, the marketing. A lot of people I'm so sorry about the people of social media, but engagement and likes don't make reservations. Maybe you have a post, you pay for that post on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, and you have a lot of revenue coming from, and maybe on that one, you don't have too many likes. You don't have too many people writing on it. But what you like is a click or reservation directly from those social media. That is the main point we need to conquer when we go and spend money on those, on internet, to say globally. Sorry, that's all. I hope helps. I hope helps. We have a lot of questions here, guys. So we have 7 minutes more. Maybe we start 7 minutes later. So I'll request you 15 minutes more of all of you for your time. Like this, we can go through all the questions that we have from the public. It's okay for you? We can move forward. Somebody wants to say something. I'm so sorry. It's okay?
Yep.
Let's do it then. Thank you. So here is a question that we already answered from Ricardo Sereno. As you are all working with hotels in many countries, can you please let us know on each countries are recovering faster on your portfolio and give your opinion on why these countries are recovering faster? It's a tricky question and a very difficult to answer, but if somebody wants, please go ahead. Just say, just go and speak. Nobody?
Yeah, I can. Hello, Ricardo. I think it's two level. One is the country, second is the kind of hotel. So in terms of countries, if I have to speak in Europe, in Europe, of course, the situation is going to change not only according to the country, but according to the kind of tourist destinations, as Mrs. Julian said before. There are some areas where, despite the country, you have a lot of tourists coming because they can use cars. The perception of safety is higher, and of course, we have a need, the need of travel. So traveling is a need. So and the other side, there is a fear now. So when in every situation where we can cope with this fear, so we start our journey, we start traveling. Even in Italy, happened the same stuff. So the big cities are empty, more or less, so are suffering, let's say, are struggling. In the other side, the more touristic destinations are during the summer, were full of people. So it's very difficult to say. Even in France, where the situation is quite difficult now in terms of new cases, not only all the places are living the situation the same way. It's all, so I think it's the unit is not the country, but it's the destination. If we want to, the best cluster to analyze this in terms of tourism is the destination. So the destination within the country, and we'll see different scenarios.
Thank you, Fulvio. Okay, we go. Somebody wants to say something else? We'll go to the next question, guys. Okay, I move to the next question then. Just 1 second, I have so many questions here. I'm losing myself with the questions, so I'm sorry. Give me 1 second to figure out the questions, and I will come back to you. I'm sorry. We're doing everything live, so nothing here is recorded. So happens. 1 second, please. So, okay. Okay. We have another one here. Okay, we have one from Fritz Sumaru. Rate parity for OTAs. Traditionally in Asia, OTAs insist that it must also be respected for rates offered on a hotel website. Reality is at that time and times OTAs undercut the equal rate given to them. Question 1. Can hotels offer a lower rate to the direct booking? I will answer you directly. Yes, you can, and you should do that on your website directly. The only thing they can, when you sign a contract with any OTA, is the standard rate that needs to be the same. Your promotional rate package, you can do whatever you want. You don't need to follow any kind of rule. The only rule they give to you is you to have the same standard rate. And if somebody tells you that you have a better price, okay, so turn down my commission and I give you, of course, a better price also. Then I'm going to let the persons here answers also. And the second question is, how will you respond to OTAs when composing about rate parity begin compromise? You cannot compromise your rate parity. You just need to have your standard rate to be all the same. That's all. If you have promotions on different sites. So another good thing of strategy that everybody needs to know. The good strategy to do is I have my standard rate. Okay, I have my flat rates equal on all the OTAs. Okay. However, if I have an OTA that charges me 30%, I don't give them a non-refundable or a soft opening with 50% discount. I give nothing. However, for the lower OTAs, the lower commission they pay, I must do promotions for those. And then I need to have the best promotions on my website. Doing that, all the traffic will start coming. For the ones you have the less commission you pay, and then go to your hotel. Remember, 70% of the people that saw your hotel and decide they will buy it or do the reservation, they will search your website online, and he will try to do the reservation directly through you. So this it's the most important thing. Somebody wants to tell something about or give them more feedback?
Vinny, just to add that another thing, I mean, when somebody goes to the booking engine, we can ask from the guest to become member, to let's say to sign in with Facebook or with Gmail or whatever. So to become member and automatically to take pricing from memberships. Well, this is another part that nobody, I mean, they cannot. There's no contact between OTAs and the hotel for the members of the hotel website. So this let's say the best way, the more clear way to do this kind of
Membership, you mean? Awesome, awesome. We're gonna work at, for those people that maybe did get understood. It's gonna be like Genius on Booking.com, but you have your own Genius for your own. Okay. Somebody wants to sell something. I move forward. We're finishing. 5 minutes more. Don't get it. Let me check. We have here how many questions more? We have another one. And 2021, what kind of historical data revenue manager should look into? What about revenue management system itself? From Rico Francisco. So in 2021, what kind of historical data that revenue managers should look into? And what about revenue management system itself? So that question is for Siddhartha, for Fulvio, and Ms. Tuan, if she wants. Please go ahead. Who go first?
Okay, let me try. So I think that, of course, as we mentioned earlier, that the absolute data for 2020 may not really hold any water for us for 2021. However, when we look at past trends over the last 3-4 years, we will definitely see trends in market, whether it's seasonality, whether it's month usage, whether it's length of stay, whether it's booking window. So some of those parameters around the data may still be transferable post to 2021. And which is why I feel that there has to be a good mix of understanding of customer behavior patterns. So every hotel follows a different customer behavior pattern. There are different types of customers to every hotel, and it's very important for both the revenue manager as well as the hotel management as well as the revenue management system to understand the specific customer behavior pattern of that particular hotel. And then you kind of keep making adjustments as you go along. So when you start 2021, you may not understand how quickly the market will recover, but you take some of those past learnings from previous years and you start moving in that direction, and then you kind of keep making adjustments as you go along. So if you see that the market is coming up quicker than we imagined, we kind of make those tweaks and adjustments, and that's the only way that we possibly can marry both understanding of data, automation, as well as human intervention to give more results.
Thank you very much, Siddhartha. Fulvio, any insight on that?
Yes, yes. But of course, it's not easy. I think we should a little bit understand that there is a problem. This problem is not only in terms of in the hospitality industry; it is everywhere. Even in terms of we are talking about expectations now. So the forecast is expectations. So even other industries, in economic, the same. No, many companies are struggling because they don't know when all this stuff is going to finish. And expectation is very important. In the tourism sector, of course, the problem is there. And what we should do, at least what we are trying to do, is to get all the data in terms of bookings now, working in terms of bookings. And this, because if in searches, because searches are very important to know it's an intention, it's willing to travel, and analyze very well the conversion. So in our case, we are completely moving our let's say our eyes into the future, trying to understand this kind of patterns. And of course, the past is important, but it's quite very difficult because we don't know now when some restrictions will end in some countries. Now USA are closing the borders. Then France, everything is like not possible to forecast. And of course, you cannot compare with the easily with the past. So this is, I think, most of the things that we do, but nothing to say more about that.
Okay, awesome. So, Dr. Von, you want to say something about these questions? Then we're going to move to the last one.
I just wanted to add one quick point. We recently, HSMAI, Hotel Sales Marketing International Association International, had a meeting in Asia Pacific. We're discussing, recently we have seen a lot of revenue management talents losing their jobs because really there's no revenue to manage, so they start to lose their jobs. So this is we're very sad to hear that. In the past, we have seen a lot of travel companies, travel technology companies, they prefer to recruit people outside of this hospitality industry. But since we have this opportunity, have this discussion with you guys who are working in the travel technology company, please, in the future, if you get any opportunity and chance to recruit to extend your team, please consider our revenue talents from the hotel industry. Thank you. Back to you, Vinicius.
Thank you. We go to the last question that we have here. So, question from everyone, from Rico Francisco. Based on my experience, the booking window is becoming shorter and shorter due to the availability of the low-cost carrier that make everyone is able to travel. The other one is a sudden offer that most of the time suggested by OTAs. Do you agree with this? And what is your opinion? I'm sorry. It happens. I got to repeat the question again. So, based on my experience, the booking window is becoming shorter and shorter due to the availability for low-cost carrier that make everyone is able to travel. The other one is sudden offer that most of the time suggest by what is your opinion? Very question. It's not very clear for me the question, but maybe for you guys you're gonna answer. Siddhartha.
Sure. I'm sorry, I did not understand the question very well, but I kind of understood the context of it. So I'll try to understand. The context that I understood. So of course, it's a reality that the booking window for most bookings around the world, ranging from small hotels to large 5-star hotels to leisure hotels, is really shrinking. And a lot of this is because of the availability of smartphones, internet, availability of options, easy booking possibility. People just want to defer their decision. They don't want to make early decisions. All travelers and guests want to wait until the last minute and then make their decisions. And everything is available at a cheaper cost. So then it becomes even more important to kind of merge. When we are doing revenue management, it's even more important to take into account these dynamically changing patterns within the last 24, 48, 72 hours, and take all factors into consideration as we decide the prices of our hotel, which includes not just the time that is left for the hotel room to go empty, but also the amount of occupancy you have, amount of the season that you're in, what weekday you are part of, what is your competition priced at, right? Are you in a high demand period or a low demand period? And that's why we say that revenue management has now become an activity that should take all those factors into account and obviously attempt to do as much automation as possible to take those decisions that can be optimal. Now, again, this is a ask, and companies like ours are trying to solve that. It is, of course, a journey that I'm sure all of us here are going to cross together.
Awesome. Somebody else want to say something about the last question that we have from Rico Francisco? Costas, Dr. Duan, Fulvio. It's okay? Okay. So we have just a last one here from Elena that says, Usually, if OTAs find better price somewhere else, they punish the hotel by lowering its rank position. Any thought about this? Look, Elena, what you can do, for example, is play with their algorithms. If they put you underscore or let you go to the third page, go and put your price 40% up and give a 40% discount. You're gonna be on the first page straight away. Or what you can do, you can go in availability. You use the algorithms that Booking or Expedia use. You go there and put that you have 100 rooms that you want to sell directly to that OTA. You're gonna be on the first page and the first research. Be sure of that. That's the best way that you can make when they find your punish your prices, punish, but you can do this and they can do nothing about it because if they are ready to understand, you're giving them everything. And if you make your, even if you do a good 40%, 50% discount, they will put up there, even if your prices, of course, is not 50% lower. Just give you in the tip. So if somebody else have something else to tell, just let us know. If not, we are finishing our first day of Travel Tech Apac. Just remember, everybody, we're gonna have the entire week. So every day, 3 p.m. Tomorrow, we're gonna have, just 1 second. Tomorrow, we're gonna have the 22 September. We're gonna have Tech Trends plus Innovation for Hotels, the future of travel and technology role. We're gonna have Witzer Group, Hi-Fi Chatbox, Chroma Hospitalities, and Muse PMS. So it's gonna be awesome. We hope that everybody comes and join us in this. So I would like first of things thank you our sponsors. Thank you Evermax, Libra Technology, Ask Suite, Tax Express, HS Latin, and HS Europe for all the support to making this happen. So now I'm gonna give you 1 minute for everybody to say goodbye. And first of all, thank you Costas, thank you Siddhartha, thank you Dr. Duan, thank you Fulvio for your time and to accept be part of this global project. That the only thing we want is bring knowledge to this big darkness we still have on the hoteliers side all over the world. It's not something that happens in some sites. All over the world, we still have hotels, even in Europe. You go to the website and it's not secure. It's not proposed in selling, for example. So this is nothing. We may be 15 years after being on this market. We think that everybody knows everything, but no, that is not true. And I think hotels and the professional sides of the hotels have the opportunity to listen from a big hotel chains as Dr. Juan or big companies as Libra, Buconai Now, and I yourself explaining how it's better to work, what is the better tips. So this is all about Travel Tech. So you're welcome now and forever on in any other event that we do. You are welcome. So please, Dr. Juan, you can have your minute to say goodbye to everybody. Then Costas, then Fulvio, then Siddhartha, then Munish. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Vinicius. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to all the participants for today. And stay positive, stay healthy, everything. I think this industry will resonate as a formal strength very soon. Thank you.
Welcome. Fulvio.
So thank you for the invitation. I don't used to do this interview or meetings because I prefer to work on the things that are very close to me. But I appreciated all these discussions, and so thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you. Costas?
Yes, me too. I want to thank you so much for this event. I'm not also the guy that participates in this event so often, so it was very good for me to be here with you. And thank you so much, everybody, and also all the attendees that has the patience to stay all this hour together with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you a lot. Mr. Siddhartha Cuenca, yourself, your turn.
Thank you very much for having me here. I think as far for a closing thought, I would just like to say that although it seems very doom and gloom right now for our industry, I feel the biggest thing that we need to do is as an industry try to reset and re-innovate and change. I think a lot of people in our industry have resisted change for many years. And whatever that means in your particular context, if we are open to changing, innovating, rethinking, resetting, I'm sure there's light at the end of the tunnel after this tsunami that's hit us with COVID. So thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you, Siddhartha. We'll pass through this. Everybody will pass. It's not something evil that can have more than 100 years. It's something. It's an Italian dictate, but I don't remember how to say it in English. But it's like everything passed. Okay, everything passed away. We just need to make or be still working and be focused. I know it's a timing of a lot of pain for a lot of people. It's not easy, but we'll pass through this for sure. Munish, your time, my friend. We cannot listen to you.
You see here, there's a guy who's bothering me since then. So he says a goodbye. but no worries. Thank you very much, everyone, and thank you, Vinny, for having me here. I'm sorry for my internet issues. However, I have a thought here which I can share. Yes, our industry was hit big time, but I'm sure the recovery looks really good, and we will come back very, very stronger. The positive is one thing only, that we'll be starting not from the scratch. We will starting with the experience what we had.
Thank you very much, everyone. So have a nice day there. I will sleep for 2 hours and then come back to work.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, everybody. Have a great day there. Cheers. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.